So recently there have been some leaks on which Pokemon are going to get Megas in Legends ZA, and I am excited because my god, they've chosen a lot of good ones. So firstly, there are some that we have had some extra info about, like Mega Starmie. Mega Starmie will apparently stay water psychic types, but its legs will become much longer so that it can run around. And this was the picture that they put with it. It's probably not going to look like this. It would be quite funny if its Mega it just gets longer legs, but Starmie, really like Starmie, really cool design. It also doesn't really get a good ability normally. So I'll be really interested to see what sort of ability they give it. If they can give it something really good, it could be really good and competitive, because Water Psychic is quite an interesting offensive typing. And then it says Mega Chesnaught will gain a crown, gaining some additional orange elements and shields, so probably going to make it a lot bulkier. With it having a crown and shields, maybe it's going to become like a grass steel type? Maybe not, I'm not sure. It might get the same ability as Zamazenta, that could be quite cool. I'm just interested to see how good this could look, because I think Mega Chesnaught could easily look quite bad, but it could also look amazing. And then Mega Delphox is going to stand on a broom and hover. I'm so excited about that. That's going to look so cool, having like Mega Delphox just hovering there. I think that it's going to be a really fast special attacker. Probably not going to be that bulky. And then there's Mega Greninja, which hangs upside down from a huge shuriken, and its colour becomes darker. That sounds incredible. If that's the case, and we get to choose one of these three, I'm picking Greninja, because that's so cool. Greninja's already so cool, but oh my god, that sounds amazing. Again, ability, I don't really know what they could do. Protein isn't bad, so that would be quite cool. And also, Mega Pyroar will apparently look like this. And I didn't know what that meant, but someone has put a visual here, and apparently, it's going to look something like this. Which looks quite silly, but if like the head's in the middle and it's like a bit wider, I could see that looking quite good. The thing that I wonder about Mega Pyroar is, are the male and the female ones going to look different? I hope they do, and I hope the female one looks really good. I think that the female Pyroar is quite a slept on design anyway, like everyone focuses on male, but female looks quite nice. And I'm also interested to see if it keeps its typing. Like normal fire typing is quite a unique typing, but they could easily give it something like Fire Fairy and give it Pixelate, and that could be very good. But they could also keep it normal and give it something like Scrappy, which could be quite good, or a completely new ability, something lion based, which would be quite cool. And then there's Mega Skarmory. I love Skarmory. I think Skarmory's design is so cool, and I feel like it's been overlooked for too long, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with Mega Skarmory. I hope that it gets abilities sort of like Gale Wings, but it keeps priority even when it's not max HP, so like old Gale Wings. But maybe giving Skarmory priority roost is not a good idea, but we'll see. And now there's Mega Scrafty. I love Scrafty. I think Scrafty is amazing, and a Pokemon that gets Intimidate before it Megas is automatically very powerful, because it has an ability that it uses and then gets another ability. I kind of hope Mega Scrafty gets like the Mega Marwell treatment, you know? Give that thing huge power, make it a really good Trick Room Sweeper. It has Intimidate normally, huge power with Fake Out as a Trick Room Sweeper would be insane. That sounds like it would be horrible to deal with, but if it's Scrafty, I'll allow it, because I love Scrafty, but ever since Intimidate Incineroar came out, Scrafty has just been bad and competitive, and I miss him. I want him to be really good again. You know, make Scrafty good again, please. I just miss him. And then there's Mega Clefable. I'm scared that Mega Clefable is going to get the Mega Ordino treatment, where it's not really that good. It's meant to be more of a support one, but a support Mega could work quite well, depending on what ability gives it, because Clefable gets Follow Me. I think the issue with Mega Ordino was you could just ignore it for most of the time, whereas Clefable gets Follow Me, so if they give it something like Fluffy, which means you take half from physical moves, that would be insane on a Follow Me Pokemon. I could also see them giving Clefable another type. No idea what, we'd have to see the design to sort of figure out what that would be, but as it's a pure fairy type, it could easily get another type tacked on. Actually, thinking about that, Scrafty's typing could actually change as well. It's got this like dragonness to it as well. I could see it becoming like a dark dragon or a fighting dragon, but I kind of wanted it to keep dark fighting. I think that's a very cool typing. And now there's Mega Scolipede. Now Scolipede is an interesting one as well, because it gets speed boost before it megas. But I'm really hoping they don't give it speed boost as a mega as well, because you could just protect turn 1, get the speed boost, and then mega and get your mega ability. Not really sure what ability would be good. Adaptability came to mind, but maybe then it's too similar to Mega Beedrill. I also feel like they might change its poison typing. Not sure what to. I feel like Bug Fairy could be quite good, or like Bug Psychic. Bug Fighting as well. There's a lot of options that they could give Scolipede. But I think its design will look so cool. Like a massive bug thing. I've forgotten what it is. But a massive bug thing. And next there's Mega Froslass. Now, Froslass, already a very cool design. I kind of hope it gets something like Snow Warning. I feel like setting up the snow for it would be very good. I hope it keeps its typing. Like Ice Ghost, very cool typing. I really hope they keep that. If not, then maybe something like Ice Fairy could be very cool. I realise I'm saying Fairy as the secondary type for all of them. I just like Fairy types. What can I say? Froslass, very cool. Probably going to be a very strong special attacker. They could also make it very bulky. I also like the fact that they're giving Froslass a Mega after they've given Glalie one, so they've got like the two counterparts. Mega Dragalge. I forgot Dragalge existed and I've used it in tournaments before. I really like Dragalge. It gets adaptability now, so that's already a very good ability, so I'm very interested to see what they do, and if they keep the Dragon Poison typing. I think Dragon Poison is a very cool typing. I can't think of another Dragon Poison type off the top of my head, but they could easily give it Water again, like Water Poison or even Water Dragon. I could also see them making it very fast, as it is a bit Seahorse-like. They could easily decide to make Mega Dragalge really fast, even though normal Dragalge is quite slow. But I kind of hope it stays slow, because then it'll be a way better Trick Room Sweeper. And next there's Mega Barbaracle. Now, I'm kind of scared that the Mega Barbaracle is just going to have like 20 of these arms coming out, and that's the whole Mega. But I also kind of want that to happen. I think that would be very funny and give it like some sort of parental bond ability. I think that would be very funny, but actually quite cool. Another Pokemon I forgot existed, but happy to see it getting a Mega. Talk of Pokemon I forgot existed, Drampa. Drampa, the normal dragon type. Now, I want it to keep its normal dragon typing, because that's quite a cool typing. It's quite slow as well, and it's one of the only Pokemon, I believe, with the ability Berserk. So maybe they would keep Berserk. It was sort of its signature ability, but I could see them giving it something else crazy as well. Something that would be crazy on something like Drampa, or even on the Dragalge, would be Contrary, because then they'll be getting +2 from Draco Meteors, and that would be insane. So I hope they don't do that. But Mega Drampa, I think, is going to... It's either going to look so cool, like a proper, like, big dragon, or it's going to look so goofy. And I can't decide which one I want, because the goofy one will just... I'll just love it. It'll just be so good. And then there's Mega Falinks. So Mega Falinks, I kind of hope that all of these guys turn into, like, these big warrior guys. And they, like, almost, like, all look unique from each other. But what I think's going to happen is there's going to be, like, 30 of them. There's going to be like 30 of them. But if they keep the same number of like Falinks, I don't know what the singular for Falinks is, then I could see them giving it a sort of like parental bond ability. Like maybe this one hits for 100% damage and then all of these are 10% of the damage. And I think that would be very cool. As long as you don't give it Power Up Punch, because that thing would get to +6 off one Power Up Punch. So if that's the case, Game Freak, don't give it Power Up Punch. It doesn't have the fists for it. Please. It could also be quite cool to see it get an ability that works well with No Retreat. Maybe a new ability. I can't think of an ability that would work well with that. Maybe like Guard Dog. But it's not a dog, so it really shouldn't get Guard Dog. And then there's Mega Hawlucha. Again, really cool Pokemon. I really hope that they keep the same typing. Like, Fighting Flying is a very cool typing. I can't actually think of another Fighting Flying type. Yeah, it's a really good offensive typing, Fighting Flying. And they could give it a lot of very interesting abilities. Scrappy could be an interesting one, as long as it doesn't keep Unburdened, because that's not going to be very good when it's Mega. And its design, I am so excited to see. Like, they could just do so much with it. And I think that no matter what they do, it's going to look cool. Its color scheme as well is already amazing. I really hope they keep this sort of color scheme with it. And then there's the 3 starters of the game. So Meganium, Emboar, and Feraligatr, all going to get Megas. Out of those, I think the one I'm most excited for is Meganium. Like, I know Meganium is one of the least liked starters, and I'm not a huge fan of it, but I want it to be a Grass Fairy type, and I think it could look so cool. Like, I'm probably picking Totodile in this game, so I hope Feraligatr's good as well. I don't really care about Emboar. Emboar's one of my least favourite starters. And then talk of starters, we've already talked about Delphox, Greninja, and Chesnaught. And now there's Dragonite. Now, I have an idea of what they could do with Dragonite, which would be obscene. And that is give it Aerialate. Aerialate Extreme Speed would just be so powerful that I kind of hope they don't do that because it would be so good, but I would love to see it as well. They could also change its typing. I could easily see Dragonite becoming like Fairy Dragon and maybe get Pixelate, because Pixelate Extreme Speed would also be very cool. But I'm really happy that Dragonite is getting the love it deserves. I really felt like Dragonite should have got a Mega the first time round, so better late than never. I mean, I've already spoken about Mega Starmie, but there's Mega Chandelure as well. Chandelure, one of my favourite Gen 5 Pokemon. It looks so cool. I love its design. And it's very powerful. They probably don't need to like boost its special attack much, and it's still going to be very powerful. So they can make it very bulky or very fast. I hope it just becomes this really big Chandelure, like, or like a bonfire, or like, there's so many cool things you could do with it. I hope it keeps Ghost Fire typing because I think that's very good. And ability wise, it could get a lot of different ones. I think Drought would be the most busted one on it, but then it's a bit similar to Mega Charizard. So I'm not really sure what they could do with it. Something like Prankster could be very interesting. Like Prankster Will-O-Wisps on it could be quite good, but again, it wants to be doing damage, not be supporting. But either way, I know that this is going to be one of my favourite designs. Speaking of really good Gen 5 designs, Excadrill is also going to be getting a Mega. Now, I think this is actually the one I'm looking forward to most. Excadrill, I think, is a really cool design, but giving it a Mega, I just know that it's going to look really cool. And I really hope they kind of keep it like a bit cute as well. I think Excadrill is like kind of cute. It's a mole. And I like mole guys. Ability wise, they could give it a lot of interesting stuff. Like it could become like a weather setter with like Sandstream, but then it won't have Sandrush anymore. And I think Sandrush is very good on it. I wouldn't be surprised if it kept Sandrush, or maybe it would be Sand Force and they'd make it much faster so it wouldn't need Sandrush. Either of those I think would be very good on it. I mean, there's so many abilities it could have, as well as new abilities, that it's so hard to tell, but Mega Excadrill going to look so cool. And then there's Victreebel, and I'm excited. I think Victreebel is such a cool design. You don't even need to change it that much, just make it a lot bigger. Oh, it's just gonna be so good. I think that a lot of the choices they have made are really good because they're like shining light on some very cool designs that have almost been forgotten. And that is exactly what Megas are for. They're to shine light on like old Pokemon that I've sort of overlooked now. And Victreebel, for me, is one of those. One of my favourite Gen 1 Pokemon. And then there's a few additional ones that Centro didn't actually tweet about. Them being Zygarde, which, it being Legends EA makes sense, but it's a bit weird considering it's already got so many forms. Like, are all the forms going to have a Mega? Are the different forms going to have different Megas? Who knows, but Zygarde is apparently going to get one. Zeraora is going to get one, which could look very cool. I kind of hope it becomes an electric fighting type. I always found it very weird that it was just electric type, because it looks like an electric fighting type. But also Floette. But the Eternal Floette, so the one with the special flower. So this is probably going to be a huge part of the storyline, but the fact that this is going to get a Mega also means that we're going to have the opportunity to get this Floette, which I think is very cool. But I would have preferred if we got Mega Florges, because Florges is great. And you may have noticed that one Pokemon is missing from this list, and that is Flygon. That's right, Flygon apparently not getting a Mega. I guess they think Flygon doesn't deserve it. You know what? Why does Game Freak hate Flygon? What has Flygon ever done to them? But anyway, if you did enjoy this video, please like, comment, subscribe. It's free, and you can always unsubscribe later. So, yeah.